Hey guys, welcome back to Tremor Trails. I hope everybody is doing well out there. Super excited about today's video. We're going to be out exploring the White Rim Trail for 2 days, hanging out with Kevin at HaloLifts and his brother, and just going to get to see really the best parts of what Moab has to offer. If you're not familiar with this trail takes you all through the Canyonlands National Park. You do have to have a permit to get to it. It's over 100 miles long, but it takes you all the way down into the river, takes you up some canyons. It's just a beautiful, epic trail that I've been wanting to do ever since I got into overlanding and was able to get a couple passes and a couple nights to spend out here and check it out. We're going to be sleeping at the White Crack campground. That's really hard to say early in the morning, but that campsite is practically right smack in the middle of the trail. So we're going to do half the trail today and then we'll do half the trail tomorrow. Nonetheless, looking super forward to this. We do have a little bit of cloud cover today, but it's really nice out here. It's going to be in the low 60s, low 40s at night. Can't wait. All right, enough rambling. Let's go jump up on the trail and explore the beauty that is Moab. Here we go. The Mecca for any overlander off-roader is really the small, sleepy town of Moab, Utah. Of course, it's only sleepy in the winter time. When it comes spring and summer, the place is a madhouse, and rightly so. Moab is in the epicenter of one of the most beautiful places on the planet Earth, Canyonlands. Between the earthquakes, the blizzards, the ice, the mighty Green and Colorado River, this land has endured some of the most harsh and extreme conditions known on planet Earth, which in turn gives us incredible vistas. The White Rim Trail itself actually was founded in around the 1940s. A lot of the uranium miners came out here searching for minerals, and then after that, the cattle ranchers would drive their cattle down into the valley floor during the winter times where they could eat. In 1964, the National Park Service came in and opened up this trail so that all of us could see some of the most incredible vistas and buttes anywhere on planet Earth. For 100 miles, this road circles around the Island in the Sky Mesa, taking you past different canyons, buttes, the Colorado and the Green Rivers like I just mentioned. This is the trail that you want to do in 2 days. I would not recommend doing it in a day. Yes, you can get it done in a day, but you're going to miss all of the beauty and the whole reason that we have this trail. As you see, just from the get-go, we're only 5 miles in and we're already onto these vast overlooks of the Green River. If this is just the beginning, I can't wait to see what is further down the road. Well guys, we're about 10 miles in and this trail is starting to just become beautiful. Right now we're on top of this big old bluff looking down at the Green River. Just incredible. We crawled up probably about 800 feet of elevation up this little ridge line to get up to where we are now. The sun's starting to come out. Hopefully it's going to burn some of these clouds off for us, but it is as advertised. This trail is gorgeous. I can't wait to see what lies ahead further. We're stretching our legs for a quick second. We have a lot of bicycle traffic today. This is a Friday, the day that we're doing this. No, this is a Saturday, the day that we're filming this. So it's probably pretty crowded out here in the national park. We kind of expected that. But this has really been a fun trail so far. Looking forward to seeing what we have coming down in the next 20 or so miles. So let's go check it out. So where we left you last was really the ending of the Labyrinth and then climbing up over Hard Scramble. And now we're on the back end of that Hard Scramble down by Potato Bottom. If you're looking for camp spots, Potato Bottom, in my opinion, is the worst camp spot on the trail. But if it's the only one available, go ahead and grab it. From here, we're going to follow the rim road all along the Green River as the scenes really start to open up. We kind of get to a little bit more level ground through this section. And towards the end of this little section, we get to some really cool overlooks. Hey guys, stretching our legs. We're about 20 miles in. Man, coming off that one sketchy little shelf road was a blast. We now haven't really seen anybody. Early today, we saw a bunch of bicyclists and a few vehicles. So maybe we're out definitely in the middle. Of course, as I say that, here comes a taco. But man, this place just continues to give incredible views, 360 views all the way around. Definitely one of my most favorite trails that I have done. I knew that this was going to be a good one. It took me a year to finally get a permit to come at the right time. You can get a permit in the middle of the summer, but you're going to be miserable. Of course, one other note to point out, since we are in a national park, obviously there's no drone footage, which really sucks because there are some expansive, beautiful views out here, and I wish you guys could see them. So you're just going to have to get in your truck or your car or your Jeep and come out here and see what this is all about. We're going to stretch our legs for a little bit, probably eat some lunch, and then we're going to get back up on the trail and start heading towards whatever the next thing is. Thanks for following along, guys. So I guess now is as good as any time to really talk about how to get on this trail. I'll refer to the permits and the links at the end of this video when we do our reviews. But in short, this trail you have to have a permit to get on. A lot of people do break those rules. The issue is because it's such a long trail, there's nothing out here. You cannot just stop anywhere on the trail that you want to camp for the evening. You can expect every bit of 12 hours to get this trail done. Little insider tip, if I had the perfect planned out trip, what I would do is I would get on Taylor camp spot in the evening, sleep there, wake up, do the trail out to White Crack, sleep there, and then either go up to the Shafer Switchbacks camping for the last night, or just go ahead and go into Moab. But you can easily turn this into a 3-day fun excursion out here exploring this trail. Now, speaking of camp spots, the next spot that we're going to stop at is actually Murphy's. It's on top of this mesa that you see in front of us, and it's probably my most second favorite camp spot on this trail. So if you can't get White Crack, definitely Murphy's is a good contender, and in the summertime, it's going to be a great camp spot because it's so high you're going to have a nice breeze. As far as the trail itself, once you get through the hard Scrabble, really the trail is pretty mundane, and we had a hard time even finding obstacles trying to test out the new suspension. There's a little rock that we got to go over. Nonetheless, we were having a blast up here, just enjoying the day as the clouds looked like they were going to try and go away for a minute. We got a few glimpses of the sun as we tried to make our way up Murphy's Hogback. Hey guys, checking in with you. Man, the views are just incredible up here at Murphy's campsite. We're kind of getting to see all the campsites today. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we're staying at the White Crack, which is halfway down the trail. But checking out some of the other spots, Murphy is a good one to put on your list. And there was one further down, Candlestick is another cool camp spot. The Potato Bottoms, not so much. Those are probably the worst camp spots so far. It's a little windy if you can't hear me because we're up on top of this massive mesa. I'll spin the camera and let you see what we're looking at. We're about 2,000 feet up. We just came up the road, and it is just spectacular out here. And I don't know if the camera's showing, but there's 2 motorcycles way down there. But yeah, having a great time out here today. We're about 40 miles in now. So we probably only got 20 miles left before we get to our camp spot for the evening. And it's still pretty early. It's only about 2. It'll be nice to just chill out, enjoy the rest of the evening at the camp spot. We'll see what else is around the corner. If anything else is really special that I want to talk about, I'll jump out and talk about it. But nonetheless, this is the Murphy campground. Well, guys, we made it to camp for the day. The White Crack, man, this place is incredible. People say this is the most beautiful spot out on the whole White Rim Trail, and I have to agree. And not only that, it is literally halfway on the trail, so it's like the perfect spot. So if you're looking for a great camp spot, always try and get the White Crack. I feel funny when I when I say the name of this campground. That's what it's called. It's called the White Crack. And it's called that because as I turn the camera around here, as you can see, there's massive white cracks with the sedimentary rock. But anyways, the views are incredible. It's snowing off there in the LaSalle's. I don't know if that's showing up on camera. A little windy up here, but we're protected. We're kind of down off this little bluff. But you can see forever. It's like a miniature Grand Canyon. Only better in my opinion. Mountains way off in the distance covered in snow. All the different clouds creating the shadows. Really, really exciting and cool trail. We have absolutely loved it out here. There was like some challenging little spots. Of course, I don't know if I want to say challenging. For a beginner or for an intermediate driver, somebody who doesn't have a lot of seat time, there's a few little intimidating shelf road things that happen. But I think more than that, it's the bicyclists. It's really kind of crazy out here. There's tons of bicyclists. And these canyons that they're going up are like 500 feet. I don't know how they're doing it. But so dodging bicyclists today was probably the most stressful thing about this trail. There are some kind of rutted out spots and it's a little, you know, bouncy left and right stuff, but your stock trimmer can easily do this trail, no doubt. But anyways, first day was a success. We're gonna cook up some steaks, enjoy this view while we have another probably 2 hours of sunlight, and just kick back and relax. So we will see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning to us. We slept, how did we sleep, Kevin? Not very well. No, we didn't sleep very well. The wind picked up last night, and it wasn't a steady wind, so it was kind of these gusts that would come through and just rock the whole tent. So every time you're about to fall asleep, you get a big gust of wind. But other than that, we made it through the night. We had a front that rolled through, and we got snow off in the mountains to our left and to our right. 50% chance of rain today. We were in the last weekend right before Easter. So I guess winter wanted one more quick little swoop through here before the true spring starts out here in the desert. I doubt we're gonna get any rain, but we'll see. And nonetheless, we got 50 miles to make up today to get to the end of the trail. So we're tearing down camp. We got our coffee and our Dr. Pepper, and we are ready to tackle the day. Just a few little quick things. I know I've already said it, guys, but this place out here is just magical. We spent probably 4 or 5 hours yesterday as the sun was going down, just hanging out and looking at this expansive view. You can see all the way to the La Salles, which you can't see in the camera right now because they're covered in clouds. And of course, Monticello, which is Colorado. You can just see forever out here. It is beautiful, and the camera's not gonna show you what this looks like. So already, before we even get to the end of the video with reviews, you gotta put this one on your list. I think that me and Julie were talking about earlier, this is probably hands down our most beautiful overlanding trail that we've ever done. But each camp spot does have a full bathroom, which is nice, and the big flat places where you can either put down a tent or do your rooftop tent, whatever you're camping in. All right, guys, so from here, we are literally halfway, like I just said. We're gonna get up in the trucks, we're gonna get up on the trail, and we're gonna see what the day holds. Thanks again for following along with us. Here we go. Leaving the campground behind, we started to make our way into the Monument Basin. And what happens here is that we have now left the Green River, and now the river we're about to pick up is the Colorado River. About 20 miles to the south of White Crack is where the two rivers actually do their confluence. This section was pretty easy. There was a few little slick rock areas that you could kind of drive over, but for the most part, it was just taking in the scenery and enjoying what this valley had to offer with the cool rock structures. Being that it was Sunday morning, we didn't have to contend with near as much traffic, and that was kind of a welcome thing. Also, what's really cool about this section of the trail is as you make your way to the Colorado River, you start to get onto some really cool rock ledges that are great for stretching the legs or taking a quick picture, whatever you want to do, and then getting back up on the trail. I think really the theme of this morning was just making up some miles and enjoying the scenery. Well, not a whole lot to report. We've gone about 15-20 miles. The trail, of course, still being beautiful, but we've kind of been on some just flat, plainy kind of stuff, kind of following, obviously, the white rim, if you will. One side note, though, this is our first trip with the brand new Halo suspension. And if you watched our last video, we talked about and introduced you to it. I've been messing with the settings on this whole trip, and I'm getting it pretty dialed in. When Kevin introduced me to the dual valve system, I was like, maybe it's gonna work, maybe it's not. But it actually is. The high pressure and the low are definitely making a difference. So tweaking in those settings has been another challenge out here on the trail. This trail is very left to right, wishy-washy, I guess I'd describe it as. So I'm getting a lot of body roll. So I've been playing around a lot with it, and the truck is really starting to tighten up, yet still be not brittle when you're driving. So kudos there. As far as what we're doing right now, though, we're kind of getting towards the back end, the island in the sky, if you will. That's the proper national park where all the main tourists go, and you look down onto the whole White Rim Trail. So we're kind of getting towards the back end or the front end. We're actually going counterclockwise instead of clockwise on the trail. And I like to go counterclockwise because you're kind of going against the grain and you don't have as much traffic to contend with as far as putting along. Some more bicyclists today, but early in the day we didn't have any bicycles. It was like the whole trail was ours. Anywho, that's really all we got to report right now. The weather's been holding off. It is beautiful out here, and we'll get up around the corner and see what else is there. All right, let's go. The Monument Basin behind, you pass the camp spot of Gooseberry, and there's also the airport camp spot. What we're getting into now is a section that has a bunch of different arches, and you can hike to some of those different arches. I believe there's Washerwoman Arch, and the one that we're heading to right now is the Mussleman Arch. Cameras, of course, do not show depth at all or perception of really how tall something is or how steep something is or how deep something is, and these arches really were incredible to look at in person. So this is something that you got to go put your own eyes on. I highly recommend it. But this whole section through here is really incredible. We could spend probably a whole day just out here on this section of trail exploring different arches, different formations, and just enjoying the cliffs by the river. So we made it to the Mussleman Arch. This is a really cool spot. We just had lunch. Good spot to have lunch. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but this is a really impressive arch. It's just, it's about 4 feet wide, and then below it is a good 300-400 feet. So check that out. We're almost to the end or the beginning, depending on which way you travel the White Rim Trail. Like I said, we're going counterclockwise, so we're almost to the end for us. So we still got a little bit more trail left, a little bit windy. Hopefully you can hear me. Nonetheless, here we go. We're going to wrap up the final section of the White Rim Trail. Thanks for following along. What I was trying to say before I was so rudely interrupted by the wind, it was a windy day when we were out here, is that Kevin had never been on top of the Shafer Switchbacks, and the White Rim Trail pretty much ends right at the base of the Shafer Switchback, so we decided we would take him up those so that he could see the view. A really quick thing, if you are in the national park proper, you can take the Shafer Switchbacks in any vehicle that you want. It will get up with a two-wheel drive car just fine. And the national park does a great job of shutting down that trail if it's just too treacherous for people to travel on. Of course, you cannot have a weak stomach, and you got to be somewhat confident in driving some shelf roads. Nonetheless, after 2 days, I figured it was a great way to end the trail. This trail was just spectacular, guys. The GoPros are just not going to show you just how incredible this trail is. But I am glad that I got to film it finally and at least show you guys a glimpse of what this trail is like. The final stop is the top of the Shafer Switchbacks, and then we're going to head over and wrap this thing up. Thank you guys once again for watching this video. We'll get to the reviews here in a second. There you have it, the White Rim Road, White Rim Trail, whatever the heck you want to call it. Try saying that 3 times fast. Let's see, technically we're not on the White Rim anymore. I had to go 2-3 miles outside of the national park so I get that final epic drone shot that I've been wanting to do the whole damn trail. I don't understand why you can't fly a drone in the middle of nowhere, but I digress. Nonetheless, a GoPro, a drone, nothing's really going to show you just how beautiful this place is. You have to come out here and experience it yourself. You're not going to get the depth, the grandeur, just all the incredible things that are on this trail. But I have to say that it was built proper, exactly what I was kind of expecting, and probably a little bit more. One of the most beautiful overlanding trails I think I've ever done in my life. And I can't wait to go do it again someday. Depending on what time of year you're doing it, you're going to have a lot of bicyclists. You're going to have a lot of tourists. I stopped a guy halfway on the trail in a rental car that had no clearance, and he wouldn't have made it the rest of the way. So you're going to have to put up with a little bit of that stuff. But other than that, don't let that deter you. Get out on this trail and see what it's all about, because it is incredible. Where we are right now is actually Potash Road, and this road takes you all the way into Moab, or you can come out of Moab and go into the Shafer Switchbacks, however you want to do it. This out here is BLM, so this is a really fun trail. It's got some fun stuff on it. I did a video, it was one of my first videos I ever did on Potash, if you want to go back and look at that. Maybe I'll film a newer version in the future, but we're not going to do that today. Anyways, let's get to the reviews really quick. Of course, if you're brand new to this channel, we rate all of our trails in a 1 to 5 format, being fun, fear, technical, and scenery. For fun, I think it was pretty fun, minus all of the other people that are out here enjoying this beautiful trail. But as far as driving, there was a bunch of different things that were kind of fun. The steep shelf roads that we did through Murphy, and kind of getting down in the canyons, a little bit of rock crawling. I hesitate to say rock crawling, but there were some obstacles and things. However, a lot of the trail was really wishy-washy. It was kind of like, don't eat before you get on the trail. So all in all, for fun, I'm gonna have to give it a 4. That leads us right into fear. Not really a fearful road at all. You can do this in your stock Tremor, you can do this in your stock vehicle, as long as you have high clearance. 4-wheel drive would be recommended, but if it's dry out there, I think you're gonna be okay. I hesitate to say that. Maybe use 4-wheel drive, just because there's a couple little sections that are a little tricky. I think I read 13 degrees on one that we did going up. So if you're going up that and you're not getting traction, that may be a little bit of a pickle. But that being said, I've seen a bunch of Lexuses and, you know, dang near minivans out here. So you could probably do it without 4-wheel drive, but it is recommended. So for fear, not really a fearful trail. There are some shelf roads, so I'm gonna give it a solid 2. That leads us right into technical. This trail's getting harder as it goes because it's getting so much use. I would consider this trail a heavy 3, but it only really has maybe a level 4 obstacle on it, maybe 1 or 2 literal obstacles that are level 4s, if that. So I gotta hold true to it. I'm gonna split it right down the middle. For technical, I'm gonna give it a 3.5 rating. For scenery, after much debate, we've never rated a trail as a 5. But we're gonna rate this one as a 5. This was one of the most beautiful trails we've ever done. There's something to look at every second of the hour. Yeah, it was just incredible. Couple side notes to remember, guys. The best place to camp, in my opinion, is White Crack. That puts you right in the middle of the trail, which makes for a really fun 2 days. Murphy is another incredible camp spot. Candlestick was a good camp spot. So there are some good other places out here as well. One thing, you do have to have a permit to get out here. You have to register your vehicle, and you have to have a camp spot if you're going to camp. It's really easy to do. I'll leave the website down below. You just pick out your day, you pay your money, and then you are good and golden to get on the trail. Other than that, Kev, he's over here off camera. So this was Kevin's first time, like I said, in Moab. Yep. And of course his brother Aaron came along as well. You want to come say hi to all the fine folks on YouTube? And of course, Julie is in the truck right now, but we had a blast. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was a good time. So you guys make sure to put this one on your list. I know I say that a lot on this channel, but this is definitely a top bucket list, and I'm glad we got to do it together. Other than that, hope you guys have a great week, and until next time, we hope to see you out here on the trails. Bye.